what up, Rob? It's Doshi now. In today's video, I'm going to be talking all things about the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 reveal event that happened today. Now, before the fake Brops leave the video, let me give them the TLDW on my reactions of the Black Ops 4 reveal event. So, first things first, Black Ops 4 cannot and will never be a Fortnite killer. I think most people have. I think some people. Let me digress. I think some people have gone into this thinking that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is going to be the one to end Fortnite. They're going to come. Everyone's going to hop back on the Call of Duty train. No, this is not the case, and I've seen nothing from this trailer or any of these trailers that might suggest anything of the sort. So, second thing, everything in this game looks super smooth and nice. The developers said that this game they're looking to incorporate the smoothness and crispness that we have become accustomed to from previous Call of Duties and bring it to the battle royale game mode. Well, I think it just kind of looks that way, but I don't think it's actually a real indicator of what we're going to be able to expect from actually watching or from actually playing the game when we get our hands on it. I think we're actually gonna have to wait till E3 when they do when they maybe talk about this game a little bit more and show us actual gameplay. But I just don't think that's gonna be the case. I think we're being hoodwinked right now in terms of how smooth this game is actually going to be. And obviously, Call of Duty is also going to have its bugs. I think that's also going to be a play factor into it because Battle Royale is a completely brand new game mode that they're going to be incorporating. Obviously, it's going to have tons of bugs, and I know everyone in the COD community is going to start ripping on Activision and Treyarch about it as soon as the game releases. Now, the third thing about the TLDW is that Treyarch obviously spent a lot of time on the zombies mode, and I feel like it's actually going to prove detrimental to it because, you know, the more time that they spend on the zombies mode is less time that they were able to spend on uh, the battle royale mode and the multiplayer mode. And just plain simple, if the battle royale mode and the multiplayer mode don't live up to the hype, and then you're paying $60 for a game just to play zombies, and zombies isn't even that good. Well, guess what? You don't even have a campaign. So what else are you going to be playing on this game for? Now, first things first, I actually want to go through a little bit of the battle royale mode. It's going to be called a blackout mode or something like that. But that's basically going to be the battle royale mode. Now, first things first, I kind of want to point out is when these screens were going on right back here. Let me go back to it. When these are basically showing like moments in the previous Call of Duties, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and probably even some other Call of Duties where showing some iconic moments, and they're basically talking about, in the rest of this trailer. You guys can go check it out for yourself. It's on the Call of Duty page on YouTube. But basically, they're talking about how they're going to incorporate all of these iconic moments and all these iconic places on different maps of different Call of Duties and bring it all into one game mode, in on one map, and they're gonna just it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. Well, I just don't think it's gonna be all it seems. I think they're going to be incorporating like all the different weapons and maybe some kill streaks and stuff like that. But I just don't think it's going to be uh, as fluid as we might think. Because if they're going to start adding kill streaks to this game mode, well, it's going to change kind of the way that battle royale modes have been played from Fortnite and PUBG. So that's going to be a little bit interesting how they incorporate it. And honestly, I'm kind of excited for that, but I just don't think it's going to be as fluid as they're trying to portray it right here. Now, another thing, it's coming up in a moment, is just kind of how this map is going to be play out. Now, I already mentioned this, but they're going to be taking iconic places from different maps of different Black Ops, and they're going to incorporate all into one map. And they're going to have land, sea, air vehicles to basically get to all these areas. And for lack of a better term, I feel like this is honestly just going to play out more like a Battlefield game mode, because the map is honestly not going to be that big. From what I can see here, the map doesn't look that big. Maybe. Now I want to say this, so before you guys start going off on me in the comments, but maybe they're hiding a bunch of locations here or there, um, a few bigger locations here or there, because they don't want to show us everything right now. Uh, but I think ultimately this is going to play out a lot more like Battlefield map, because Battlefield maps were honestly pretty big. I don't think this is going to be able to support 100 people. They want fast-paced action, so I don't think this map is meant to. play like 100 people. They might have 100 people on this map, but I don't think it's going to play for 100 people. I think it's going to be super super fast paced. Like regardless of where you drop, you're gonna be instantly like you're instantly gonna find someone. It's just gonna be non-stop like killing. And I feel like if that's the direction they want to take their battle royale game mode, I think there's a place for that. I think there's going to be people who aren't much fans of PUBG's slower play style and Fortnite's kind of building mechanic to for them to kind of come into this game mode and be like, okay, well now you have the fast-paced action of Fortnite, but then you also don't have to worry about building, like PUBG. So I feel like this is essentially the niche that Call of Duty is trying to fill, and I feel like there's definitely a place for that in this kind of battle royale market, but I just don't think it's going to be as crisp and fluid. I think it's going to be rife with bugs, and if Activision is willing to put in the time and effort to really develop this game in the same way that Epic Games has put in the time and effort to develop Fortnite, I think then this could be a serious contender. I don't think it's going to kill Fortnite, not by a long shot. It's definitely going to be interesting in the way that it plays out, and I think we're going to have to wait till E3 to learn more about this game mode. Now, the second thing that I really want to talk about is Black Ops 4 multiplayer mode. Now, this is kind of interesting. For me, this Black Ops 4 multiplayer right here honestly looks a lot more like, a Black Ops 2 Reloaded or like a Black Ops 3.5 or something like that. Because from what I can tell from here is that you're essentially just taking the specialists and abilities from Black Ops 3 and just kind of adding some new ones. Maybe a few new weapons and stuff here or there, but there's nothing like new or innovative, or from a creative standpoint, there's nothing new or innovative in the sense of like what you're going to get from a Call of Duty game mode. I feel like it's just going to be a standard, typical Call of Duty boots to the ground action. I think it's going to play out similarly to a Black Ops 2 type game that you typically play on Black Ops 2, which is why I'm leaning more towards calling it more like a Black Ops 2 Reloaded, that type of thing. The specialists, from what I can tell, I think there's going to be about 4 returning specialists from Black Ops 3, and then they're going to have 6 new ones. And if they do decide to go the same route that they did in Black Ops 3, where each specialist had a secondary ability as well, then essentially what we're looking at here is 20 different specialists, which is going to be kind of interesting to see how it plays out in terms of different play styles and how they want us as fans of the game to kind of play this game. So the other thing that I kind of want to point out, and I feel like people have already kind of went in on this, but essentially you're going to have 150 health. Now this is a lot different from previous Call of Duties when we've had 100 health, but essentially what we're getting here is 6 bars of health at the top, and I think that's going to be indicative to about 6 pistol shots to kill someone. So this is 150. So each little square here is probably about 25. So 6 pistol shots to kill a person. That's not nothing new. I don't think. I think people are getting way too upset about the 6 health, or 150 health than they really should, because it takes in a typical Call of Duty, it takes about 3 to 4 shots to kill a person in I honestly don't know about World War II, but I remember in Black Ops 3, it took about 4 or 5 shots with the VMP to get that kill, right? But I think with this, it's basically essentially saying that, like, okay, you're going to be able to count the shots in order to get a kill. Also, you're going to have to deal with the recoil. You're going to be able to learn the recoil and stuff. So I think it's going to be interesting. But again, it's too similar to what has been done in the past. So I don't think it's going to be, as like as innovative and as engaging as Call of Duty has been in the past. So that's going to be another thing to kind of worry about. The last thing I kind of want to talk about is the zombies mode, which is on here. So I feel like the way that they approach zombies mode is that they knew that people love zombies mode, but they wanted a kind of storyline to it. And I feel like they've decided to go in on this story mode. And the way I feel like it's going to play out is that there's going to be 2 separate maps. Each one's going to have a story attached to it, plot throughout the map, and essentially Treyarch is essentially asking the players to go in and play through each of the map. I think there's going to be two maps, and Treyarch's essentially asking people just go in and play the storyline associated with the map. There's not going to be a campaign in the normal sense of what we've come to expect as a campaign from previous like Call of Duties, but this is how they're going to kind of fill the gap. So I think that's going to be kind of interesting to see how it kind of plays out. Now, one thing I also kind of want to point out is this creature that kind of comes up here in a little bit. I think this could potentially be a new creature in this game. So, and I mean, like from my perspective, I'm not going to be hitting up my friends, being like, "Hey, let's play some Call of Duty Black Ops 4," when I'm going to have to face this creature because this thing freaking terrifies me. Like I am deathly terrified by this thing, and I wouldn't want to play it. But anyways, you're gonna be able to play on the Titanic. I think they made that very clear during the real reveal event. But I think at the end of the day, what what's going to make or break this game is whether how good the zombies mode is, because you can tell that Treyarch spent a lot of time on this game, on this mode specifically, and then if the other two modes don't back it up, you're left with this. And if this mode isn't up to snuff to previous Call of Duties or to previous zombie modes, or if it's just not fun, if it's just not fun, then what are you asking players to do? Essentially, you're asking players to pay $60 for a game with no campaign, with some horrible modes, and it's not. It's just not going to be fun. It's going to be too toxic, for lack of a better term. Now, my final remark that I want to make is, for me personally, I look at games and I'm basically like, okay, am I going to be able to get $60 worth of entertainment out of this game? Like, am I going to be able to get as much fun out of this game as I should be for paying that price? Now, for me personally, after seeing these modes, I'm basically looking at a game that's trying something new with Battle Royale mode that has an existing like 5-star game mode in zombies, and has multiplayer mode, which is fun um, at times. But am I going to get $60 worth of enjoyment out of it? Am I going to be able to play about $60 worth of time into the game for me to actually get that back out of the game? So I can't say. I don't. For me personally, I don't think this game is worth $60. It doesn't have campaign. It doesn't have any of that stuff. Or I'm not sure about how battle royale mode is going to be in this game. And I think zombies is going to be kind of. I don't think it's going to be too much fun for me personally. And I just don't think it's going to be worth $60. That's final thing. So go ahead and let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of this game. Feel free to ask any questions about this game down in the comments below as well. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. And honestly, I love engaging with you guys, so just drop a comment either way. All right. If you guys want to tweet at me some questions, my Twitter is in the description below. Go ahead and hit me up. Hit me with that follow. I'll be tweeting back at you guys literally as soon as you tweet me. Probably. I don't know. We'll see. But that's going to be it for me today. I'm probably going to be uploading a Far Cry video tomorrow. But until then, keep it right here on Doshi.